Welcome back to an exciting episode of Go Bold, brought to you by Revlon. When she's not starring in The Real Housewives of New York, Heather Thomson is running her own successful fashion label. Today, she's going to challenge our contestants to put some business savvy behind their brands. It's time to go bold. Hello, ladies. Are you ready for business?
Ready. Yes.
To succeed as an entrepreneur, it takes a combination of business sense and drive to turn an idea into a reality. Today, I brought in a mentor provocateur who is a TV personality, businesswoman, and overall go-getter.
My name is Heather Thomson. I am the founder and chief creative officer at Yummie by Heather Thomson. I think one of the most important pieces of advice is don't forget who you are and why you got into this. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you must love what you do. I always say it's only work if there's someplace else you'd rather be. I love what I do, and I can vetch about it, but the bottom line is I'd be lost without it. Whatever industry you're in, play fair. You know, your own integrity and what you stand for is really important. And last but not least, fail fast. You're gonna fail. And I always say it's only a mistake if you make it twice. The first time it's a lesson.
Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Now, we have 3 women here who are on the cusp of achieving great things. Each of them has an idea for a business or a brand in various stages of development. What do we need to know about the startup experience?
You know, you're literally giving birth to something new. So there needs to be a clear plan, and you must be prepared to work hard.
And that brings us to today's challenge. Now, our 3 budding entrepreneurs have come prepared with pitch decks for their businesses. They're going to pitch them to you, Heather. Are you ready?
Yes. And here's what I'm looking for. How clearly defined is your brand? Do you know your target audience? What needs does your product or brand fulfill for people, and how are you going to market that?
That's something a company like Revlon does so well. A product like Color Stay Face says exactly what it does, and it's fulfilling a need for women that want a more flawless complexion. But there's one more twist for the ladies.
That's right, there is. Being able to handle constructive criticism is crucial for entrepreneurs, but also equally important to be able to give it. So we want you to critique each other's pitches right along with me today.
All right. Are you ready, ladies?
Ready.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's hit the deck.
I was actually very excited about this challenge. I absolutely love presenting. I'm so excited to be here and to talk to you guys about my company and my passion, which is called The New Quo. So what is The New Quo? Essentially, it is an online magazine and digital marketing consultancy for minority entrepreneurs.
Oh goodness, Christina is delivering her amazing PowerPoint presentation that's like well thought out and so perfectly written.
We are going to take images of these entrepreneurial people of color and put them in the marketplace. And I want to take those tools and give them to the people that need it and really prove that the American dream still exists. So there it is in a nutshell. I came prepared, you know, I've done this spiel a couple of times and I didn't really miss a beat the entire time.
Christina, I was blown away by your presentation. You didn't look at the screen at all. I can just see the passion.
Your nerves didn't come out. Your nerves definitely didn't come out. You have a very clear idea of what you have as a product and how you want to get to it.
You know, I think it's so great to hear honest feedback from your peers because it's hard to get.
Christina, I think that your presentation was just about flawless. The online magazine part, I totally get. I'm not sure I understand the multicultural side of the online magazine. I felt as though you were very much representing, you know, a Black American community. But there's a lot of Americans out there with all kinds of color skin that really need resources. So I would say I want you to be inclusive, not exclusive.
Heather's feedback to me was really interesting and important, and honing in on what are you selling and who is it for, because those are still kind of vague.
Good afternoon. My name is Laylas. and I am here representing myself as a brand. I know what I can do. I know my potential. I know who I want to target. Sometimes it's just really hard to pitch that. I target career-oriented individuals and the younger generation of Latinos who represent who we are as a crossover market. I don't have a clothing brand like Brigitte does. I don't have a multimedia company like Christina does. I don't have anything tangible or to sell to people but myself.
So Jayla, what I really love about your brand and what you're trying to do is bridging this divide. But really, as a brand, you need to serve a need. And I think in your presentation, it wasn't quite clear, but I know that there's a need there. It just seems to be teased out a little more. You can't just be a brand without some kind of service or attachment to something that you provide to individuals. I think it just takes time to really work through what that is, especially when you're representing yourself. That's so hard.
I do understand what you're wanting to do, but I don't know like what your ultimate direction would be. Like, so you bridge it, and then what do you do? I just really hope that I see her build her brand in a way that maybe she doesn't need to do a hard good or some kind of thing that she can sell, but she can use herself in general as a platform for other people so that she is that bridge.
Selling yourself as a brand is not easy at all. No. And you have that part nailed down. You can sell yourself. I just wasn't clear on what you were offering. Like if you were selling me to be my spokesperson for Yummie, other than hitting the Latino market and the fact that you feel like you have followers, I wasn't sure what else you would do for me.
Today was probably one of the challenges where I feel like I learned the most, because it's one of the things I've had the biggest problem with in my brand, the language of communicating what I already know I have within me.
Hi, I'm Brigitte Blonde. I have a clothing brand called The Blonde Locks. So it's my turn to go and I'm freaking out. I can only tell you that it looks like Scrabble in my head when I am trying to speak. The concept is to fill the void in the marketplace for the 13 to 30-year-old female that is interested in the skate, surf, SoCal lifestyle.
Brigitte really shined. She is her biggest critic. She had all these doubts before she came, but overall, her product works. I mean, people buy it.
There is this girl that is not being spoken to. I lived this, that's who I was, that's who I am, so I decided to make something for her. That would be where I'd like to go with this.
I actually really love your brand and think that you have something very special. The one thing I think you can really push into, especially with the lifestyle stuff, is boiling it down to like adjectives. And you can shape all those lifestyle things, the events, the playlists, all of that around that.
You have a phenomenal brand and you just have to be more confident in yourself. And sometimes it takes away from like the awesomeness that you really already have inside of you.
You might not fall in love with Brigitte, but you might fall in love with her brand. Same thing with Christina. You might not like the way she runs things, but you love the concept of her company.
I actually thought that the girls were gonna be really harsh on me because I felt that my delivery is kind of spacey. It's kind of like all over the place.
I think the hardest thing when you're a creative person is to stay focused. Even though you're not a very comfortable public speaker, when you're talking about your passion, you don't need the script. You call yourself a lifestyle brand, and a lot of people overuse the term lifestyle brand. So you owned it actually later in your presentation by calling it out as an alternative lifestyle brand. What do we talk about? Revlon's foundation, their makeup. It perfects your complexion. It tells you exactly what it does. And I've got a vision of exactly what you were trying to do. It's an alternative Southern California lifestyle. And I think you should put that in your tagline.
I knew that they would be able to see that I know who I'm selling to, I know what my brand is about, and I know who I am, and I know where I want to be.
Welcome back, ladies. I hope you all got some great takeaways for your business concepts today. Heather, who do you think is our winner?
Brigitte. I chose you. Although nervous in presenting, she was the most focused with her business plan and outline for her goals and what she needed.
And now you have something for our winner, isn't that correct?
I do, Brigitte. Every girl entrepreneur needs a blue box. And this is to help you write down those thoughts and keep it moving just like the rest of them.
Oh, so I walked in today thinking I was already defeated and I won. Trust me, I'm not too comfortable in the winner's seat. So just so everybody knows, I don't think I'm gonna keep winning, but I might.
Congratulations again, Brigitte. Now I want to hear what you think. Vote on who showed the most potential as an entrepreneur and leave us your comments. Until next time, remember, go bold.